Councilor Dan Ryan, who represents North and Northeast Portland, is no stranger to the Rose City's politics. He's the only holdover from the old form of government and was not shy about how he felt about the move to put money earmarked for Portland police towards park maintenance.
This council will make a big mistake that you will regret if we go ahead and put this through. Residents and businesses will continue to leave. The tax base will continue to erode.
Councilor Ryan going one step further in a statement later on, writing, "This new council is not aligned on key priorities. We saw political micromanagement, false choice amendments, and special interest appeasement. Too many council decisions now serve national narratives and political agendas that don't reflect the reality on our streets. I won't stand by while performative politics replaces practical solutions." Okay, well, joining me live in studio tonight is Councilor Dan Ryan. Councilor Ryan, thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Okay,
It's good to be here, Claire.
So let's talk about that statement, some harsh words there. I want to point out one piece you said. You said the new council is not aligned on key priorities. So what are those priorities and why do you say that?
I say that from my experience over the last 4 years. I was sworn into office in September 2020. At that time, we all looked at each other in the eye and said, what are the top 3 priorities for the city? It was, at that time, homelessness, public safety, and economics and livability. We stayed on that course over the 4 years I was there. I didn't experience that as much this week when we had so many amendments and we have many more to come.
So you called the move to cut $2 million from the Portland Police Bureau reckless. Now, those who voted for it argue it's just a small change. It was just money the mayor was going to give the police bureau for new hires. They already have about 91 vacant positions as is. So tell us more about why you disagree.
Yeah, I found that the statement by Chief Day earlier in the day, there was a very long meeting, it was like 15 hours. Earlier in the day, he made it really clear that this is a cut. They prioritize their recruitments and the special units that they build. It's more of a 3-year look. It's not just 1 year at a time. And so it really disrupts the leadership's ability to keep managing that build back because we have fewer staff at the Portland Police Bureau than any city our size. And we're really understaffed and we need to keep building that up. And so one reason we have so much overtime is because of that. It's a chronic issue. So the last council knew that we were in a long-term process of building the Bureau back. And during that time, over the last few years, I've seen morale go up. I've seen recruitment go up. There's a lot of momentum and they're building special units again. That's why car thefts are down. We have a new special unit that's going to focus on storefront safety because we're hearing complaints from all of our storefront owners, not just downtown, but in St. John's and Mississippi and Northeast Broadway in my district. And how are we going to implement the kind of service they deserve if we backpedal?
So we know Portlanders, one of their main things they've been calling for in this budget is no cuts to public safety. So what sort of message do you think this sends, cutting $2 million from public safety?
I think it says to those people who are working their tails off to try to make it work in Portland, it tells them that the city council is not having faith in them to continue to do that hard work. It's not keeping our contract with them that we have their backs. And so it's not just about police. Again, it's about the save our storefronts. If we're going to see our city come back, we have to have a really strong public safety system. And that begins with a very robust and sophisticated police bureau. I thought the mayor's budget really read the room well, meaning Portland as a room. I thought he focused on those top priorities as well as the priority that he campaigned on, which is unsheltered homelessness. He worked so hard with all the city council members. He was all over the city. He's quite a relationship person. And I would have voted yes just on his entire budget. So I found that a lot of the amendments just got very micro. It was odd to be in this new form of government where we're supposed to be legislators now and doing policy. And I experienced more micro type amendments in the management side than I did when I was a commissioner.
I wonder if just the new council is so excited to have this power to put a new amendment forward. I'm just curious, what was the motive behind it?
I don't know. I kind of had 3 categories on why I would lean no. One was if there were cuts to police. The other was when I thought it got too into the weeds of the Bureau. And the third is when I thought they were experiencing mission creep. We have to stay focused on our primary purpose. We're about basics, police, safety, our roads, our infrastructure, and of course our parks.
So yesterday I caught up with Council President Ilana Prittle-Guiney. She voted against pulling this money from Portland Police and putting it towards parks. And she sort of hinted, or rather said, that One of the main reasons she thinks that this vote went this way was because she doesn't think Chief Bob Day was clear enough in how this $2 million cut would impact the Bureau. He was unavailable to comment on that criticism today. A spokesperson from his office told us that he was clear. We know it was a long meeting. People were tired. It was late at night. But do you think that maybe if he was more clear on how these cuts would impact police, that this vote would have gone differently?
He was asked earlier in the day if this was a cut, and he said, yes, it is, and it will impact recruitment. That's all I needed to hear. It took a while for us to get back to the place where people wanted to sign up to be on the Portland Police Bureau again, and we really saw that turn around 2022, and I've seen that momentum since. I go to every swearing-in ceremony. I meet all these very excited new police officers who are quite diverse, both in gender and race, and their families, and they're just excited to be public servants, to put their lives on the line to protect Portlanders. And when I heard Chief Day say that early in the day, I wanted to have his back. He's a really good chief of police.
So let's talk about a different vote by council regarding the water and sewer rate hikes, a combined 6.3 rate increase. Public Works telling us the average household will be paying around $8 or $9 more per month. You were the only one to vote against that. Why?
Because we're in an economic challenge right now. My neighbors influenced me on that. People that I know in the gym, people I just know around town. And I was going to be okay with maybe a 2%, maybe 3% at the most. But once it went above that, I was a hard no.
And how would you respond to those who argue the hike is needed to maintain city water infrastructure?
I would say that there's other ways to look at that expense. We have to be in a relationship with the residents of Portland. We've had some population loss lately. We have people that are hanging in there in Portland, and we can't continue to make their fixed cost to live in Portland be higher as services go down. It's not a good equation.
All right, Councilor Dan Ryan, thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now it's your turn to weigh in. What do you think about the utility fee hikes and the move to put police money towards parks? Email us, thestory@kgw.com, or call and leave a voicemail, 503-226-5090.